So when Corona broke out here, I was like, of course I am not going back to the States. I will use it. And I'm just like, this is here for us. Like, this is great. Like, just, pump when you're like, it's so funny. But I guess some people like me, I'm just like, okay, like, let me do it. Like, I just touched this handle. Like, let me just be safe.
기자, 쓰레기.
Oh.
기자 is a reporter.
And then trash. What?
You. Welcome. And would you introduce yourself?
네. 한국어?
Whatever.
Hello, my name is Courtney Garcia, and I'm a good friend of Claire's, and I'm very excited and happy to be here. 안녕하십니까? 미국에서 온 코urtney라고 합니다.
Great. Thank you. Courtney has been living in Seoul. How long?
벌써 6달 전에 한국에 왔어요. Actually, I feel very safe here than I would back in the United States. And I think the main reason is health insurance, just national health insurance here. And even for foreigners, so I don't have the national health insurance yet, but going to the hospital, I think I went once like last year before Corona, and it was just for like allergies. And I was expecting to walk in and pay thousands of dollars. I was so ready. I was like, okay, I set this aside. I was like, here we go. And this was at Yonsei, so it was just an emergency room visit. And it was about $200 US, like a little bit less than that. And
I see.
Maybe
it's still expensive.
Yeah, but back it was like maybe 150, but then
you're right. It was an emergency room, right?
Yeah, That shocked me completely. I was so amazed and astounded. If I were to do that in the US, over $1,000.
Yeah.
And so
even you're a US citizen, you have a residence
without health insurance. So when Corona broke out here, I was like, of course I am not going back to the States. I am staying here. One part because like not only not having health insurance, also Korea's taking such amazing measures in order to prevent the spread. Like there are some things that they can help, like with the people that in that church, that cult church group. The spread, that's so. Yeah, but everywhere, like hand sanitizers in public transportation, like thermometer fever checks, like when you go to museums or institutions or even in a hospital, like. All these like cautionary measures are so important, and they are not there in the United States. And
just part of the reason is United States much bigger and wider country. Yeah.
But there was this hand sanitizers and face masks and hand wipes all sold out in stores and everything. It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
And they found out.
I saw that article.
That they went around to all stores and bought everything.
He sold their SUV.
Yes.
And they never felt guilty, right?
Yeah. And they went on Amazon and sold up for a higher premium. Yes. And now they
blocked that
Amazon money, which it's unbelievable. Like that is just so absolutely crappy, excuse my French, but it's just awful. And what I appreciate, like here, I mean, I think with masks that kind of happened on the outside, but the government now came in and worked with pharmacies, which is like really great and really important that they did that. So, so thankful and safe to be here versus in the States right now. So
I'm really sorry about what's happening in the US. Even they wanted to go test, but they had to pay more than $1,000.
Yep. Right? Just to test.
Yeah.
I'll not go back. Okay. But what's so interesting is I have not seen. I always use the hand sanitizers like when I get off the bus, but I've only seen maybe 2 or 3 other people use it, and I'm just like, this is here for us. Like, this is great. Like, just, pump when you're like, after you leave. It's so funny. But I guess some people like me, I'm just like, okay, like, let me do it. Like, I just touched this handle. Like, let me just be safe and everything. So maybe it's not as like conscious a decision as that.
Some conservative parties and some people in that area, they try to impeach.
Really?
Yeah, our president. So they open up the survey and then it's kind of polling. So more than 1.2 million citizens agreed.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because the delayed response or
letting the... It's a shame,
That's one interesting about the media is that here I find the reporting so overwhelming. Like I was watching the news as much as I could understand, but I got so nervous and anxious that I had to turn it off and I couldn't watch anymore because it was just little things of someone got infected in the neighborhood and I'd just be like, oh my gosh, looking around like who has it like in this bus? But I had to think like, okay, I can't let this, it was making me sick, like just thinking of the anxiety. I had to like put a stop to it and think, okay, if I don't feel well, stay at home, go to the hospital. Like I know the steps I have to take if something were to happen. And I just every morning, like I'll now on habit just check my temperature and make sure. But I try not to watch so much of the media because it's reporting is not
doing right things. Really.
Not and in the U.S. like sure they report on it now, but they have a lot of other news that they're covering, so it's not just the sole thing is the virus like 24/7.
So that's very weird and very heartbreaking moment because to spot on how much the media and then conservative parties or the some people they are making our nation more miserable and under this disastrous situation.
Yeah.
So sometimes I happen to think about the same power, the same motivation to make this country developed this much and then to initiate this much of medical service and then the governance. It's the same reason of that people who want to take it down this government.
Yeah.
So I feel like we are living in such a ironical society.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like now in the US, like the biggest news is this social distancing is what they're calling it. And is that something in Korea that you like that people are also doing as a means? Like I kind of remember a few weeks ago that people were saying stay at home, like don't go out as much. In the US, in New York, they've shut down all restaurants and
is it voluntary or
no by law?
Oh, okay.
So all like small businesses are having to trying to figure out other means, and so in this kind of purpose action of social distancing. So I wanted to get your opinion on that in Korea.
So someone called that the test of democracy. Yeah, because compared to China, in Wuhan case, they shut down everything by law, and then aggressively, violently, Chinese government has been suppressing the democracy in that area.
Oh, interesting.
But compared to that, we're just such a neighborhood, right? But in Seoul and even in Daegu, someone called that second Wuhan city. We got more than 6,000, 7,000 patients there. Out of it's almost 80% of our confirmed virus because of the Shincheonji war. That's crazy thing. So, but Korean government opened up every road and then didn't suppress anyone.
Yeah.
So we persuade citizens to do that social distance voluntary, and then according to their their wheel.
Yeah.
So households and the smaller shops and then that kind of the streets, the shops and markets are really very suffering. That's so true. But we help each other.
Yeah.
And then someone posted that stock status for that kind of shops, and then they posted in the online bulletin board, and then they ordered that much of that, and then share the incomes, and then so I really expecting under this current disastrous situation, what would it be like in the end? You know, it's so interesting. It's really dramatic time to test or other different governmental agencies, their strategies, right?
Yeah.
So, but we have still some. I think there are reports. There are some from that because we still have church originated patients, so they don't do that social distance. You said about the Korea media, Korea press. We created a new idiom, new word. We call it 기레기. You never heard about 기레기?
No.
It means combined word between 기자, 쓰레기.
Oh.
기자 is reporter
And
the
then trash.
What? You can imagine that because every reporters from that ugly media press, they are reporting that something fake news and then making more anxious and making more uncomfortable with this situation. So many comments on that report. We don't want to see any more 기레기 or just
Wow. That's crazy.
yeah. That's what's happening here.
Wow.
And I it's so embarrassing. So you're so true. It's cut out the time to watch TV news or no more breaking news. Breaking news is too much. The Tom Hanks' wife. She
and Tom Hanks too.
Yeah. She shared her Spotify list for self-quarantined person.
Yeah.
1.5 hours list or whatever. So that's not the cost demanding things, right?
Yeah.
It's just sharing the emotions and then let's cheer up and then let's come together, right?
Yeah.
And why we don't have that kind of movement in Korea?
Yeah, that's one of the interesting things, like, because I constantly listen to the New York Times daily
podcast.
And you know what they did? They were reporting on Corona as it is. But then this past weekend, they did actually a segment on Tom Hanks. And it was just how
I was listening to, I was about to listen,
how he's just a nice guy and how everything he's done, like, in his career, and it was just a break. Like, they were like, we understand he has Corona, but we also want to take the time to say, like, how, like, kind of to break away from all the Corona updates and just kind of talk about him and, like, the last interview that they had with him, and it was just so, like, wonderful to hear, and it was just a really nice kind of like second piece, like to hear something like good.
Yeah, we can do that, and then we can overcome all together. Yeah, it'll be finished anyhow.
Right, still taking like news into account. They still report on that, but they also wanted something to like brighten people's days and take their minds off of like all the anxiety of the news and everything. So I appreciate that.
Let's pray together for Korean news media to be balanced. Please, please.
For all of our sakes.
Oh, it's okay. All right, thank you so much for participating in this one. All right,
I
see you.
it.
Bye.